everyone. This is Leena Khandekar, founder and director of International Lee's Beauty and Spa Institute. I am working in beauty and wellness field past 20 years, working nationally and internationally. And as you all know, I have come up with the series of expert novel. In this series, I have been taking interviews with beauty and other industry experts to understand the latest trends, opportunities, futuristic possibilities in various fields to gain a holistic understanding, insights on the same to help one and all grow and work towards personal and overall betterment. So today we have with us a very talented, gorgeous, and motivational personality, Miss Sandy Fuhr from South Africa. Thank you so much, Sandy, for your valuable time today.
It's my pleasure to be here with you, Leena, and so lovely to see you this year because we didn't expect to be able to connect with everything that's going on around the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandy. I would like to introduce Sandy to you all. Sandy qualified as a beauty therapist in 1982. She completed her French qualification, went on to do her CIDESCO International postgraduate training and achieved the CIDESCO Beauty Therapy Diploma in 1991. After 10 years of working in various skincare clinics, she went to build a chain of 16 beauty salons around South Africa, including being principal of the college affiliated to the company Regis. Sandy opened her own training college in Cape Town, South Africa, called the Sandy Roy Beauty Therapy Institute in 1996. She is currently franchisor to 12 beauty and spa therapy flexi-time campuses in Africa, ranging from the southern tip of Africa up to Nigeria. In 2006, Sandy was awarded Regional Business Achiever Entrepreneur of the Year with Nedbank Businesswomen's Association. That's so awesome, Sandy, and heartiest congratulations for this.
Thank you.
Sandy has sat on the board of SAAHSP and is past president of the South African Association of Health and Skincare Professionals for the past 20 years, being the CIDESCO Section South Africa. Sandy has examined beauty therapy and spa qualifications on behalf of SAAHSP and is an appointed CIDESCO International Beauty Therapy, Spa and Aromatherapy Examiner. So she examines students all over the world. And that's really, really incredible. Sandy has attended 15 international CIDESCO congresses around the world as a delegate, speaker, and CIDESCO International board member. Sandy has been a judge at various international media and stage makeup competitions performed around the world. Sandy judges spas on behalf of World Spa Wellness in Southern Africa and in countries in the Indian Ocean. Sandy has presented papers at conferences held in Seoul in Korea, Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg in South Africa, Wuhan in China, Dublin in Ireland, Mumbai in India, Stockholm in Sweden, and Chicago, USA. That's awesome. And in Mauritius on varying topics and roles, and I'm sure the list will still go on. She has received...
Too much.
Yes, Sandy?
It's too much.
yeah, but it's incredible. She has received numerous awards for her contribution to the industry in South Africa and globally. Sandy was PR board member for CIDESCO International for 8 years and is now the elected president of CIDESCO International. And we are very happy for it, Sandy. We are really very happy for it.
Thank you.
So Sandy develops new training programs and attends CPD courses on a continual basis globally. She continues to be committed to the health, beauty, and skincare industry globally. This is really incredible, Sandy. Indeed, you are an inspiration to all of us. Your journey has been a real wonder. You have really created a direction of your own and definitely hasn't been an easy one or smooth, I feel. In spite of In spite of all the challenges, tough times, you came out stronger and worked endlessly with a wide focus towards your vision. I'm sure it must have been really, really tough. It's not easy. These yes, people from other side, they see or they feel it easy, but I can understand that it's not easy. And it really requires a strong and positive attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You've got to be positive about the decisions you make, because they're big, important decisions when you're thinking for the global community, and you're making choices of an industry like CIDESCO, which is in over 40 countries around the world. We need to be very, very cognizant and aware of what we're doing to help the industry. And that's it's just my absolute love. Yeah.
That's lovely, and that's everything really needs. If you have that desire, I think, and if you have that kind of a focus, I think it is possible to do the things and become successful in life. And I think, Sandy, with all your, when I was going through your profile, I was just even telling this to my kids, my daughter who is now going to 10th. I was just telling her, see this is how we really have to focus and work, believe me.
You're an excellent role model, though. You're going to guide her in the right direction, I'm sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much for your valuable time today. And I'm sure all the viewers are going to get really, really very good insights. Thank you once again.
My pleasure.
My first question to you is, Sandy, what and when was the first point or that one point or situation in your life where you realized that and decided to pursue this stream or this field as your dream or a career?
So I'm going back to when I finished my last year at school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. My mum came to me and she said, what about doing something in the beauty industry? It was very new all those years ago, the beauty industry in South Africa. In fact, in Cape Town, there were 2 beauty salons in the whole of Cape Town, which is quite a major city in South Africa. And I laughed at her because my older sister was the one who did my hair, she did my makeup, she did my nails. And I wasn't really interested, but I thought at the time, well, it sounds like fun. It sounds like I'd enjoy learning that. So let me give it a go. At the time, I won a prize at my school. It was in the last year, they had a big book award prize, and they gave me a voucher to go to a bookshop. So I went to the bookshop to buy my prize, and I found myself a big color book, hardcover book, which was very simple in those times. But inside there was all pictures of facials and makeup and waxing and all these different treatments that I was going to be learning about. So I bought this book and I gave it to my teacher to hand over to me at the prize giving. So there I was at this prize giving. And I handed it to my teacher. He took one look and he said, what is this? This is a book of pornography, because inside the book was a picture of a lady having a body massage. So you could see the skin on her back and on her arms. And he couldn't understand it because the industry then was unknown. And I said to him, this is my career in the future, and I'm going into the beauty industry. So he said, oh, well, I don't know what you'll make of yourself in your life. So I went, and that was a very, very important part that I can remember looking back, that made me, when I went into the industry, made me really aware of what was actually going on in the industry and how it could actually grow from being so simple to something really, really viable now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think this kind of a situation, I feel it was everywhere. So initial days, that beauty field was not means like it was not that kind of a prestigious field. People used to think like, people who are weak in studies, or those who just want to do 4 hours, they don't know how to spend these 4 hours. So they have to do something. So they used to take this field as a hobby, I would say, not even as a career.
Right. And if you were not clever, you went to beauty school.
Yes.
And still we have those issues in South Africa or in different countries around the world, I believe still in India as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
where the parents seem to think, well, if my daughter can't go to university, let me quickly send her to beauty school.
Yes.
And when you open the anatomy and physiology books and you see what you have to learn, it's very meaningful information.
True.
So yeah, I think we still have a way to go for parents
Yeah.
and students to realize that this is a very
Yes.
important industry with a lot of
Yes.
knowledge. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not that easy. Just go get some cream and just apply, get your massage done, and that's it. That's your facial. But because we are
Mhm.
trainers and teachers, we know how deep science is involved in it. And if you understand that science and then you deliver the services, I think people will trust more on you. It's like, I always tell my students, we are 50% doctors. Only we are not injecting anything with the needle, but we are injecting the thought process, we are injecting that aspect of scientific aspect. So
A
thank
very
you.
good way of putting it. Very good.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. And it is very important to plant the correct seed at the right time in order for a fruitful tree to grow. And that's how you have explained throughout your journey. And it is incredible, I must say. So, what was that one most challenging phase situation in your life, and how did you overcome it?
So it was financial.
Hmm.
And I reached a point, I had 1.5 children. So I
Hmm.
had a 2.5-year-old and I was pregnant.
Hmm.
I resigned from my job, and at the same time, my husband resigned from his job.
Okay.
This is my previous husband. And so we were both not working. We had the 1.5 children. And I wasn't quite sure what direction I was going to take my life in. I went to inspect a beauty salon.
Hmm.
I was asked by the CIDESCO Section SAAHSP in South Africa to inspect the salon to get accredited as a CIDESCO Section salon in South Africa.
Yeah.
And the lady that owned the salon, she said to me, she was taking me around the salon and she showed me this room with 3 beds, 3 chairs, 3 trolleys. And she said to me, don't you know somebody who would like to use this space to for training or something? And I'd been in training before that. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I want to do. So I went back to my husband and then we sat and we wrote down a 1-page business plan, which I sent to her. And
Hmm.
I put every request I possibly could think of for her. And she just said yes to me,
Wow.
whatever I needed possible. And she gave me the opportunity to start my school because I didn't have the finance
Hmm.
to be
Hmm.
able to purchase the equipment.
Hmm.
So every little bit of income that I got in, I gave her a percentage, and the rest I just put into reinvesting into my business.
Yeah.
But it would have been much easier if somebody had come to me and said, here's 100,000, 200,000, off you go and start your business. But it wasn't like that. I wasn't so
Yeah.
fortunate. So I'd say that was the most challenging time, but it's given me a story to tell,
Yeah.
and it's given me an empathy for those who've struggled financially, for those who have not had the ability to pay for courses like
Hmm.
these themselves, to be able to take short courses so that they
Yeah.
could get their full qualification.
Hmm.
Because what
Hmm.
I did then is I took the full qualification and I broke it down into short courses,
Yeah.
into bite-sized courses, so that people could do one at a time, because I knew financially they also
Yeah.
couldn't afford to pay for the full course.
Yes.
And that really, really changed my business, and
Yeah.
it also changed the industry,
Wow.
because in South Africa, a lot of short courses are being taught
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and I think this thing, when there is a tough situation and challenging phase, I think lot of strength and positive approach is also needed, and definitely you had it, and that's why you could do this. And do you really would you like to say something on this, Sandy? Because the current situation, COVID situation. My next question is, of course, is there on that particular aspect. But if you have that confidence in you, I think it is possible to do things even if you are facing any kind of a challenges.
So COVID, of course, has been a huge impact globally on all businesses and particularly on the beauty industry. It's taken a very, very big back step for an industry that was one of the largest growing industries in the world.
Yes.
But obviously with touch, this became a big thing. Salons were closed all over the world, and I know in India it still is a big problem. So I think, in fact, I've had COVID, and it's not something that I would recommend to anybody. So just try and stay safe as much as you possibly can, everyone, because it affects. If everybody's got a different story to tell from being affected by COVID. I lay on my bed for 14 days, just looking up at the ceiling with what I call brain fog.
Yeah.
I had absolutely, I couldn't get my head thinking in any proper direction. And before that, we'd been in full lockdown in South Africa, no ability to go out, nothing. We weren't allowed out unless you were going to get emergency food.
Yeah.
But we sat with our team, our staff, we had Zoom sessions, we were connected on a weekly basis, every 2 weeks, once a month. We got our students online. Fortunately, all of our theory was on E already, all of our books since last year. So our assessments, all the theory was already ready for our students so they could continue their theoretical learning. But during those 14 days with that brain fog, I didn't think I'd ever be able to think rationally again. But when I felt better, I was back in my office, back on my chair, back at work. And it seems like a crazy thing to say, but I almost feel like I've worked harder in the last few months than I even did before that then, because you're so busy strategizing, coming up with new ideas, new concepts, and it's been so exciting. The income has been very bad, but the new strategies coming out in my schools and with my team as well. It's just been so inspirational watching them come up with videos and webinars and PowerPoints and things for the students that have just been, just unbelievable, fantastic. But you've got to stay focused. You've got to stay connected. You've got to look at this situation and don't let it get you down to a point that you give up.
Yes.
You cannot give up because it will come back. It will change. The world will return back to our normal way of working. Once the vaccines and everything is out there, I'm convinced that we will be fine. But still keep doing things differently right now because you can't just let your business fail.
Absolutely. That's very well said. And tough situation that we all know, all these tough situations don't last, but tough people do. And if you have proved, and you already have proved this over and over, Sandy, and I think it's going to be an inspiration for all of us. And I also would like to share one thing here. Every year we used to make approximately 12 to 15 PowerPoint presentations for the trainings. But in this 6 months, it has been crossed more than 50 PowerPoint presentations, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that
it's
is
been
one.
Fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned that your team is working so hard, and you also have worked so hard in this during this COVID or during this particular lockdown time. I think it has really, as you said rightly, that it has really given us good thoughts and good ideas. And I think we have become more creative to do such kind of a things, online trainings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we would never have done this before.
Yes.
And look, here we are, worlds apart, yet we are so connected. It's wonderful. I must say, I love it. Yeah.
That's true. What do you do to boost your immunity, Sandy? not only during the current COVID times, but in terms of regular practices also? How do you take care of yourself?
So, well, particularly during COVID, the doctor put me on to so many vitamins, and it was really interesting. He said to me that he would never have recommended vitamins before because they've always had a philosophy that vitamins, medical doctors, that vitamins just make a very expensive urine.
Yeah.
But he said that the absolute need to boost your immune system is really important, with the likes of zinc, selenium, vitamin D3, vitamin B, vitamin C, everything that I could possibly imagine I had there next to my bed. But before that, I was even taking all of that because I have an autoimmune condition. So I was already taking that, and I still take that. But other than what I'm putting inside, just in terms of lotions and potions, I walk. I love walking, power walking. I find it gives me great energy, makes me feel better, gives me that 45 minutes, 1 hour, maybe 5 times a week. And I go out with a friend, or I go out with my husband, and it's excellent time to just connect, be grounded, and just feel the earth beneath my feet. And that is, but other than that, I think mental health is really important. We've got to keep working at ourselves to keep ourselves positive. Somebody said to me the other day, don't tell me about stay positive. But we really have to stay positive. Otherwise things can get us down, and that's not productive at all. Not at home, not at work.
That's absolutely right, Sandy. And discipline is the backbone of success combined with hard work. And we can clearly state this in your story as well. And we really have to be focused. If you have a positive attitude, then only it is possible. So thank you so much for this, Sandy. And as you work on a global platform and have over 12 franchises, how have you expanded your business and multiplied it in 12 centers? Related to this, I also would like to say or ask that sometimes people are having a big question mark, even if they have a one salon and they have to manage all the departments and all the sections, HR, everything, like, the stock, even the retaining employees is, again, sometimes it's a challenge in India at least. So what is that key factor? What is that success mantra? Would you like to say something on this, Sandy?
So when I started my first school all those years ago, that was in 1996, it was me, and me. That was it. So I had to do from marketing to recruitment to signing students up to teaching them to graduating them to trying to run my finances, I had to be everything. Then I got a half-day person who became a full-day person, then another half-day who became full-day, and slowly but surely, because in South Africa, manpower is not maybe as cheap as in India.
Yes.
Anyway, so we just did it slowly but surely, until my school grew quite big, where we had 4 classrooms running with first-year students, second-year, third-year students, and also our modular school. Then at the time we had 10 staff. I had a lecturer who left Cape Town and moved to Johannesburg. She wanted to open a BTI, Beauty Therapy Institute is my school's name. Yes. She wanted to open a BTI in Johannesburg. So I said to her, no chance, I'm too much of a control freak. I need to know everything that's going on in my business. And if I'm not there, I can't control it. And she said to me, which is true, she was my student for 2 years. She was my employee for 10 years. She was like my other child, much older, but she was in and out of my home as well. And she said, I can do this. And I sat back and I thought, she can do it. I'm no better than she is. If I can do it, she can do it. So I took a chance and I said to her, okay. And I threw all my intellectual property at her and I said, let's make this happen. So that was school number 2. And then slowly but surely, we're just opening this very week, school number 13.
Wow.
With individual, but it's a franchise system.
Okay.
I own 2.5 schools, and the rest are franchised to independent people, and mostly owned by a therapist who's come into education and has been in education for many years. Many of them have come through my training system, so they know and they're comfortable with my massage and my way of cleansing, etc. But we are here, our support, as a franchisor, it's important that I support my franchisees with a proper quality management system. And that quality management system comprises of all the assessment tools. So everything that gets marked in school A to school F, all of them, they get the same marking sheet. Examinations get produced and they all get shared amongst all of the schools. They get marked the same way. We do college checks. We make sure I go and visit. I have a team as well with me. We are 39 people in our team.
Oh, wow.
And in all the different schools, and we're all working together to educate students. Because why? Who is the most important person in our world? Is our student. And we make sure that that student gets the best service possible. And that's how the business has managed to scale up one step at a time. It didn't just happen with a miracle. I didn't wave a magic wand. The policies and procedures didn't just arrive in my plate. I had an accreditation check by the accreditation body in South Africa. And they sat at my desk and they said to me, so what is your policy when a student is sick? So I said, well, this. And they said to me, where is it in writing? I said, no, it's not in writing, it's in my head. And she said to me, what happens if you die? I was like, okay. Then she asked me the next question for a next policy and the next policy and the next policy. And I kept on saying, but it's in my head. And she kept on saying to me, what happens if you die? So suddenly the penny dropped and I was like, I've got to get everything down on paper. Created all policies and procedures, what we call our quality management system. And that goes to all of my schools. And they all have to work according to the same quality management system. And if they're doing it in one school and the other school, it must be the same. A student must be able to move from one to another quite seamlessly. And it was really interesting because, just that thought in my head, well, what happens if you die? Your intellectual property is gone. You need to put it down on paper and give it to people, share it with people, give them the opportunities that I had. I was given a chance, so why can't I give others a chance as well?
Yes. Wow, that's really wonderful. And I think successful people generally focus on the productive and not being busy. So this productivity actually helps them to grow. And that is what you're saying, Sandy. And I think we really have to work smart and learn to have our business on autopilot mode. And related to this, Sandy, I have one more question. Do you miss the time, I think, when you had your first baby or first school, rather, I would say? So did you have that scarcity in you that what if whatever services I am providing, what if my staff doesn't follow it? Then what was that? Means what kind of a mindset you had that time that you could deliver everything, or you could easily means you could easily believe on the people who have been appointed by you? So what was that? Any key factor would you like to suggest?
I think, firstly, for me, I have to make sure they have the right qualifications because they are teaching a skill. So they need to be properly qualified. And in South Africa, you have to be qualified a level above the student that you're teaching at. So if a student is at level 5, you need to have a level 6 qualification. So immediately, if somebody wanted to go into education, they needed to have their skills training, like the CIDESCO Beauty Therapy qualification. And then on top of that, the next level up to be able to then teach the beauty therapy qualification. So that was step number 1, correct qualification. Step number 2 was the person. I needed people that were people who cared about others, who cared that their students were going to succeed, who cared enough to make sure that the students got the best training possible. And that I took it upon myself to make that a very important thing to pass on to my team. So I would go into exams with them, I would go into classes with them, and I would mentor them, shadow them, I would do marking, I would do feedback with them, but always in a very positive way, because I don't believe in bringing people down in order to bring them up. I believe in slowly but surely building people to where they feel they are super confident that I can go and rest on a beach somewhere on an island and I know my business is safe in good hands. And I think I've managed somehow to surround myself with people like this who feel the same way. That they know that when I say to them, who's number 1? Not me, because I'm your boss. Don't worry about me. I don't want to know anything. There's no hierarchy here. Who's number 1 is that student. Look after that student. Your business will be fantastic. I'll be happy. What more do you want?
Absolutely. This is awesome, super awesome. And just to have that, everything should fall in place, and you really have to have that mindset. And this is really, really awesome, Sandy. Basically, you just mentioned about the quality management system. So how do you design your SOPs?
So we start out, I must have 150 SOPs for every single step of my business. And it starts with, why are we doing this? And if we have a very good reason to do it, then we need to have a procedure to do it. So we start with the policy. Look, what is the policy about? And then what is the procedure that we will follow? And I don't put it down in a way that I give it to my schools where I say, you have to do it like this. There's no other way. I give it out to them. We consult, we discuss it, we make sure that it works for the schools because things are changing all the time. And then we put it out to all of the schools. And we put that quality management system, it's on their computers, but they have it on hard copy as well, so that they can go to their hard copy, they can have a look and they can check to see if there's anything that they don't understand. Is it an assessment policy and procedure? Is it an appeal policy and procedure? Is it confidentiality? Is it recognition of prior learning? Is it transferring from one school to another? There's a policy and a procedure for everything, but it takes time to do. So don't expect that you will put them all down in 1 month. Make it realistic and slowly but surely work through one at a time, but consult with your team to make sure, and even consult with your students. You'll be surprised. If you gave a policy to a student to write, they'd probably write it the same way you would, because they know how it should be done. Sometimes they're going to fight you, but they still know it should be done like that.
That's wonderful. And I think that is very helpful. Generally, good decisions making and good planning gives us great SOPs. And I think having good SOPs is a backbone. It's a backbone of our business, I feel.
It's the spine of your business, absolutely. Everything you can refer to everything in there, and
Yeah,
you know what to do. Yeah.
true. Sandy, next question is, we have been seeing you on prestigious CIDESCO platform since many years at this extremely important position and have been so inspired by your story and work. We really would like to learn from you. How do you balance work and life amidst everything? And how do you manage your time well?
Not very well, to be honest. To be absolutely honest, but I always make sure that I will be available for my children and my husband when they need, because family events are very important to me, and being together with my family. So that it's absolutely something that has to be my priority. Work is also a priority, but it does come a close second, because without my family, I don't know who I would be, they're it. And my business, I do work most days of the week, and could be evenings, could be Saturdays and Sundays. I work more so than I should be. And I don't say it proudly, because you do need time off, you do need a break. But usually I go away and I have some time out, and my favorite place to be is in the bush, in the African bush.
Okay.
And we make some time to do that every year, and just try and get some sort of feeling of normality at a time like that, because this is, I'm not very
Wow.
good at balance, to be honest.
Okay. Nothing
Yeah.
is generally particularly hard, but if you have divided into small pieces and work with the dedication, I think that is what you also would like to say.
I think I need that guidance. I need somebody to stop me and tell me to just take a break, go back. Go.
That's awesome. Sandy, as an entrepreneur, how have you tackled this economic situation, I'm talking about the current COVID situation, and we have and are facing during this pandemic?
So economically, the impact has been very hard on all of my schools, as well as the beauty salons as well. My husband started a chain of beauty salons 15 years ago, and there are 225 beauty salons now in South Africa under the brand. He
Wow.
sold, he sold the business almost 2 years, about a year and a half ago. And he's since left the business and gone into consulting, but I'm still involved very much with the business, because they have a franchise with us as well. And that's been extremely difficult, because to try and pay your rent, to pay your staff when you're getting no income is a massive challenge. But fortunately, there has been support from the bank, or from people allowing you to delay your payments on your rent, kind of thing. But it has had a huge impact financially on everybody that I know in the industry. And some were very, very clever and had put money aside, so they were able to tap into those resources and be able to utilize that to maintain their staff. Because to me, the most important thing was that I didn't let my staff down, that they didn't have to suffer. So I've tried to pay my staff, but then what happens is you don't get paid, because you're the business owner, right?
Yeah.
You do that just to try and keep your staff having some sort of income, because they also have families to feed. And so you need to make sure, I think, as a business owner, that you have got something that is put aside for a time of emergency that you would never have expected, because we didn't know, and nobody knew this was coming around the corner. And if those businesses didn't have those resources, I think they would have been in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really helpful, Sandy. And I think banks are also providing low interest rates. They are providing loans with low interest rates, and GDP as like, like India, it's everywhere, it's declining. And this is something like, the future is not written, and always prepare. We really have to prepare ourselves for any pain. And I think this pandemic has taught us this major impact. And because even if somebody is having a small salon and you are a owner of 13 franchises and many salons, the 13 franchisee, I mean the schools and many salons, I think there must have been a lot of impact on all. And yeah.
Leena, my mom taught me something very, very young, and I, you don't always listen to your parents at the time, but when you reflect, you realize that this was probably one of the best pieces of advice she gave me. She always put aside, before she did anything, she put aside 10% of her salary. Always. She had a separate account, and that was her special savings account. At times, she needed it for emergencies. At times, she needed it because she wanted to buy something special, like it was time to get a new car, or she wanted to have a special holiday. She had always, always put the money aside, that 10%. And I think that is such an excellent tip to give any young person from a very young age. Just put aside, because you never know when that crisis hits, what you are going to possibly need, and don't touch it until you need it. So even like something really good or something really traumatic, you've got some sort of reach.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think so. This learning we can see in any book. It is with the experience of our parents and our grandparents.
That's mommy learning. Yeah.
Yes, mommy learning. Okay. According to you, what personality traits must a beauty therapist or a cosmetologist hold or develop for betterment?
I think number one is caring.
Yeah.
So as a beauty therapist, you have to be able to have that soft side, that nurturing, caring side of you, but you need to have the ability to keep what the other person's problems are, that's their problems, and what are your problems are your problems. It's called counter-transference, to try and have that ability or learn the ability to be able to listen with both ears, see with both eyes, feel with everything you possibly have, but to leave it behind at the end of the day so that you can go home and live your life without this impacting on your family as well. I think that's for me absolutely number one. It's one of the questions I ask my students. Do you enjoy people? Do you like to spend time with people? And when they say to me, no, I need my quiet time, and I'm not a people's person, I'm the sort of person who wants to be on a computer all the time, I question them, are you sure this is the right industry for you? You have to want to spend your time with others, with other humans, real live kicking humans.
Yes. Yeah. That's lovely. That's lovely. And I think I have read somewhere in one of the very popular author's book that it is mentioned SMART, that is smart, and that generally specifies, goals. That is, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, and A stands for attainable, and then the relevant and timely. I think if we have this, then because we are into service industry, I think that will also help. And as you said, and as you rightly mentioned,
that's a very wise piece of advice for everybody listening to this today.
Yeah. Can we have short duration courses for CIDESCO, Sandy? So please guide us through this.
Yes.
Can I tell you one thing? Why I'm asking you this question? Because we have been promoting CIDESCO courses, and also it is a really, really prestigious accreditation for our school as well. But due to COVID-19, people are thinking not only twice, they are thinking thrice, at least for a year. So can we have small modules for CIDESCO curriculum? Like I know that we have beauty certification, but kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are busy working at the moment in developing different modules.
Wow.
We've just launched, or we are in the process of just launching the manual facial unit
Okay.
and the facial certificate, which is manual facial includes eyelash and eyebrow tinting, eyebrow shaping, and brush cleansing, whereas the other one excludes eyelash, eyebrow tinting, brow shaping. So those two already are ready to go. We
Wow.
are going to be finishing, the next steps are to finish the advanced aesthetics units.
Hmm.
So we're going to be doing microdermabrasion, microneedling, advanced skin peeling, laser.
Wow.
Then we will go into nails, so manicures and pedicures, soak-off gel, gel nails, and we have a plan to
Wow.
go ahead. So yes, the answer is yes. It takes time,
Yes.
but it's coming through the system. Slowly but surely you will see as the months go on, we will be launching more and more units. It's very important to be able to offer the individual skills because the industry has changed,
Yes.
where you have nail bars, you have brow bars, you
Hmm.
have makeup studios, just specialists in individual skills. So we
Yes.
need to be able to enable students to just focus on what it is that they want to specialize in.
Hmm.
So instead of, if somebody's not interested in massage or pedicures and they only want to do skincare, that's what
Hmm.
they can do. So that is our goal going forward for
Wow,
CIDESCO.
that's
Yes.
wonderful. I'm so
I'm
happy, and
very
I'm sure
excited.
once it's out, I think all the students and all the people who are inquiring about CIDESCO courses would be really, really happy. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you.
so
I'm
much.
glad to hear that.
Thank you so much for this initiative, Sandy.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Myself, my board, my office team at CIDESCO in Zurich working extremely hard to bring this to the community. We know the demand and the need for short courses is exceptionally high. So we need to make sure that you get quality,
Yes.
best quality examinations on each one of the individual skills. So it's not going to change the quality, the standard, or the value of the CIDESCO qualification. It will still have that same standard because the theoretical component will be that little bit higher. The practical assessment is going to be that little bit higher so
Yes.
that you know you've still got a qualification or a piece of paper that
Yes.
holds the name of CIDESCO with high standard.
That's really wonderful. And as you mentioned that, I really salute to CIDESCO board members, CIDESCO back office team. I think you all are working so hard during this pandemic. You have organized so many such valuable and informative webinars, and we are really, really grateful for it. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you. I will pass on your compliments to my team because they really have put in a huge effort.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy, a very important question I have for you. Due to this financial crisis, many small and medium salons have permanently closed in India, most of the places. So, what would you like to suggest to restructure salon business? Or we would like to even have your valuable inputs for this, as well as few of the salon owners, they have shut down their shops because it was on rent and they are unable to pay rent, and they have now started from they have started operating it from the houses or their
Right.
home particularly. So any restructure plan, can you please give your insights on this?
I think this has had a massive impact and will definitely change the industry or the way the industry looks going into the future. Now, what opportunities have arisen is for mobile therapists a lot. You know, we were going in and out of London every 2 months because my husband was opening some sorbet salons in London, and mobile business was very big and very much in demand in London. Not so much in South Africa at all. But now what I'm seeing happening is that a lot of the therapists who've unfortunately had to be laid off, they are going to people's homes and they are doing treatments at their homes. But other than that, the salon owners who don't want to be mobile, when they set up from home, or even if it's an individual therapist setting up from home, please make sure that the standards are still upheld, that you have a washable floor, that you have running water in your room, that you have access to a bathroom for your client, that you have a professional entrance for your client. She's not walking through your kitchen or through your bathroom in order to enter into the treatment room, to still maintain the standards of your treatment within a proper set up environment. Otherwise, the credibility of the industry will start to decrease again. And it took us so long to be respected and for the industry to be looked up to and to be admitted as one of the most important industries for nurture, for care. So to try and make sure that whatever we created, then you maintain your standards wherever you are working. If you are mobile, make sure your kit is in a professional wheelie case, that when you set everything out, it is sterile. You're wearing your gloves, you're wearing your mask, you show your hygiene and sterilization, you wash your hands from beginning to end, clean linen that you take with you, so that your treatments are done as exceptionally as it would have been done in a beauty salon.
That's wonderful. I think everyone, please follow this advice given by Sandy. And I think maintaining our standard, whether you are operating from home or you have a proper salon setup, it is very, very important. Thank you so much, Sandy, for this insight as well. And Sandy, please tell us about your experience when you have presented papers at CIDESCO conferences held at different countries, and what would you like to say or share about it? And this is a global experience.
Yes. So every country's culture is different. And what's really fun and interesting is on the airplane, when you fly over, they always have there's a place that you can look on the TV screen where you can go and read up or watch a little bit about the culture of the country. And even before you travel, to make sure that you have the appropriate clothing. Because no matter where you are in the world, you need to, if you're going to present a paper and you're going to be standing up on a stage, you need to be presentable in terms of that country's culture. So whatever it is, if you have to cover your hair or you have to cover your shoulders, you need to make sure you do it in that particular country. And also knowing and understanding when you're speaking in a country where English, in my case, where English is not the first language, I may be talking through an interpreter, or there's a translator somewhere in a room, somewhere, and people are sitting with earphones on and having translation. I have to speak much slower, much clearer. I think that's why I use my hands so much. I explain everything. And just to be calm, to try and be calm and enjoy the experience, because it can be nerve-wracking when you look out there and there's 200, 500 people in an audience and you, oh my gosh, you've got to go to the presentation, but enjoy it, have fun, laugh, smile, make some jokes, and just enjoy your time with your audience. Embrace your audience, bring your audience into you. And sometimes I can't find a word, and I'll say to the audience, what's that word I'm looking for? And they'll help me with the word, and everybody gets involved, and it just becomes fun. And I think that's important. Enjoy what you're doing.
That's really important. And I'm sure expansion will engage. Expansion will always engage a lot more people confidently. And in
Yeah.
our field, it is kind of, acquire candidates to be more courageous in pursuing the beauty and wellness industry, and engaging that audience is also very, very important.
Yes.
You're absolutely right, Sandy. Thank you so much. Uh, Generally, students who opt for CIDESCO courses want to work internationally. So, will this help them advance their career? And if yes, then what would be your guidance before them? Means, what would you like to suggest, Sandy, for this?
I think in India, you have a very similar situation to in South Africa. We're quite far away and we love to work internationally because, there's a large need for foreign currency, a desire to earn dollars, um, also a desire to explore the world. Now, you cannot do that in South Africa unless you have an international qualification, we tell our students. And it's the same in India. You have to have an international qualification to give you entry into other countries to be able to work. So if you're traveling with your husband or you're traveling to go and work overseas, before you go, make sure that you have received your international CIDESCO qualification, either at a CIDESCO accredited college, or if you didn't study at a CIDESCO accredited college, you can go back after 3 years of work experience. You can go back to the college and do the examination with 40 hours of learning. Now, you can then do your postgraduate beauty therapy CIDESCO qualification. That gives you your piece of paper to work internationally. Now, if I had not done my CIDESCO qualification at 12 years after I studied, I would not be able to be doing what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
I would not be recognized the way I am recognized. I would not have had the opportunities that I've had today. I would not have been able to be part of CIDESCO the way I am today without my CIDESCO international qualification. I am ever, ever grateful that I did that. That was my ticket to my future.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And anyone who starts today and make a new ending. So if you have this CIDESCO, this is worldwide prestigious certification and diplomas. And if we pursue it, if we take these diplomas, I think we will be recognized internationally. So thank you so much, Sandy, for this advice as well. In India, generally many students have the potential to opt for CIDESCO courses, but due to some financial problems, they step back. And unfortunately, these courses don't even come under educational loan facility in India. So will CIDESCO provide tie-ups with banks to offer certain amount as an educational loan facility, which will help candidates to future their dreams and work towards their with this hope, I would rather say. Because many of the banks, because whoever comes to us for the admission, we never say, okay, you want to go for the CIDESCO curriculum or you want to take for the CIDESCO course admission. We always give aptitude test. So if they score at least 70%, it is 50 marks test, and if they score 70%, we generally allow them to take the admission. And questions are mixed, it is general knowledge as well as theoretical knowledge in our field. So if they are scoring good marks, and then we come to know that they don't have that financial status, and then I personally have been connecting with many of the private and governmental financial banks, whoever provides loan. Even if we are ready to give a letter for that particular child or a candidate that they are taking admission, these are the fee structures, so kindly approve loans. So first of all, there is a n number of documents what they require. I agree, they have to. But if we have certain kind of a tie-up, so is it possible for CIDESCO International to do such thing?
So what CIDESCO International recommends is that in your country, if you have a CIDESCO section, these are conversations that the CIDESCO section should be having with the relevant role players. The reason being is that CIDESCO International is Swiss-based. We're based in Switzerland. With those laws and regulations, etc., we have our representatives, our partners, who are our sections. So our sections, a section in India, for example, they know the legalities and the ability to be able to raise finance for the beauty industry. Now, I think what is really important and something that the section could look into, but of course I have not spoken to the section about this. So, and these are just things that I'm thinking about right now while we're speaking, is that you probably have in India registered credit providers who are not banks, who would give loans to students still at a good preferential rate. Yes. Because the beauty industry has come so far. Years ago, it was not recognized as a proper qualification, as a proper skill, as a proper industry. It was only for stupid girls to do. But now you can see the viability of this industry. It is huge. Yes. And for people not to finance students in the beauty industry, for me, is surprising in today's time, because it being one of the largest growing industries in the world, second to IT. I mean, I can't understand why there wouldn't be some sort of support. But yes, you need the documentation. You need a clear credit record. Yeah. We work with 2 loan companies for my business. We have the 13 campuses, so you can imagine everybody's at different levels, and we've got in South Africa very, very poor communities who need some serious financial support. So having the short courses, also being able to finance one short course at a time through a registered credit provider would be, I think, the best way for them to go.
That's lovely. I hope it will fall in place, and we hope that things get better and there comes a way out of everything for everyone. And thank you once again, Sandy, for summarizing everything for us and with your years and years of expertise.
It's a pleasure. It's my granny input.
Yeah, that's true. So, always at the end of the interview, Sandy, we have quick rapid fire questions. So may I?
Yes.
Okay. What's the best thing? Sorry?
I'm nervous. What are you going to ask? Go ahead.
So what's the best thing that's happened to you so far?
Sounds cliche, but yes, definitely having my children and my husband is the best thing. And then next to that is my business. If I had not opened my own business, then I'm not sure where or who I'd be. My business and me are one and the same. Yeah. So yeah, very, very simple. That's exactly how I feel as I sit here today. It's difficult having young children and then bringing them up to a great age. Yeah. But it's very special.
Yeah.
A great honor.
Wonderful. What excites you the most?
What excites me the most? The bush.
Oh.
The bush.
Lovely.
Absolutely. So it's a 5-hour drive from where I'm living now in Johannesburg. Yeah. So it's a 5-hour drive for me to be in the proper bush. It's called the Kruger National Park. And when I know I'm going in 10 days' time, I know I'm going, and I'm already starting to be excited because we're going for 5 days to a camp, and then we're going on a walk through the bush. We go a long walk all the way through the bush for 3 days. And it is just absolutely makes me so excited. I can't wait.
I think I must see that and must plan after a post-lockdown or COVID. Must plan to go to bush.
You have to, but I won't go in my lace top. It's very
lovely.
Yes.
What is the next thing you are really looking forward to?
Post-COVID, I'm really looking forward to that. That is something exceptionally exciting for me. And I'm really looking forward to my son getting married.
Oh, wow.
Next year, he's going to be getting married, and we're very excited about that. So I think that's what I'm next looking forward to. And that's not about work. That's just
Super.
family pleasure. Family
Matters.
pleasure.
Family
Yes.
matters a lot. That's true. And your hobby, Sandy?
So my hobbies, I'm quite disappointed, quite sad to say that I don't have many, but walking is for me that when I know I'm going for a walk, I feel happy and I feel excited because I know I'm going to really enjoy that. And watching series on Netflix.
Lovely. Lovely.
Can you believe I would admit that?
Excellent. That was such a amazing time what I have spent with you today, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and talk about the experiences and wonderful journey of yours. And it was a pleasure, indeed pleasure, to learn more about your approach and thoughts on various aspects, which will really help us in the future, Sandy. And one more thing, our conversation made me even more excited and has encouraged me. What inspired me in particular was how sharply your efforts were focused and how much of hard work and persistence you have constantly put in along the years. Thank you from bottom of my heart.
It's a pleasure. You inspire me as well. From a distance, I watch you and I see you as an incredible role model to so many people. Just keep up, please, doing what you're doing. You're making a difference to many young women and men in the industry. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
Inviting me today.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. You all are awesome. Stay tuned with us for the next interview coming soon. Take care of yourself. If you have any questions, you can always send us on the details given below. Please like, comment, and share this video. Thank you once again, Sandy, for your lovely time.
My pleasure. Be safe.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.